Prince Siddhartha lived around 2,600 years ago. He meditated and became enlightened, meaning that he became extremely wise and completely peaceful and happy. Since that time, he was known as the Buddha. He began to teach others what he had suddenly come to know, that in this world, everywhere, there is unhappiness. Everyone cries sometimes. Everyone feels hurt sometimes. And everyone, every day, feels uncomfortable and suffers at least a little bit from feeling too hot or too cold, hungry, thirsty, or tired, worried or scared, bored, annoyed, ignored by someone, that someone is upset with them, unable to do something, that they forgot something important, or that they lost something. Can you think of anything else that makes you uncomfortable? Hold your hands on your head. Show me how it looks when someone is very unhappy. This is how we can remember the first noble truth that the Buddha taught. Life is full of suffering. In the Pali language, which the Buddha spoke, suffering is called dukkha. In this world, everywhere, there are many reasons why we suffer. We want some things, but we don't get them. And we don't like some things, but we get them anyway. That is frustrating. Roll your hands around each other. Show me frustration, the causes of suffering, with upset thoughts going round and round. This is how we can remember the second noble truth, causes of suffering. In the Pali language, it is called samudaya. The Buddha taught that it is possible to stop being unhappy. There is an end to suffering. Yes, we can be happier and happier. Put your hands on your heart and smile with happiness. This is how we can remember the third noble truth. There is an end of suffering. In the Pali language, it is called nirodha. The Buddha taught 8 ways to end our suffering, called the Noble Eightfold Path. Hold up 8 fingers. Show me there are 8 ways to end our suffering. This is how we can remember the fourth noble truth, the way to the end of suffering. In the Pali language, it is called magga. Now, let's remember the 4 noble truths that the Buddha taught. The first noble truth, everyone experiences unhappiness. Life is full of suffering. Put your hands on your head and show me life is full of suffering. The second noble truth, the causes of suffering. We suffer when we don't get what we want, and when we get things we don't like. Roll your hands around each other and show me upset thoughts going round and round, the causes of suffering. The third noble truth, there is an end of suffering. Put your hands on your heart with happiness. Show me the end of suffering. And the fourth noble truth, the way to end suffering. There are 8 ways the Buddha taught, the Noble Eightfold Path. Hold up 8 fingers. Show me the way to end suffering. Let's talk about the 8 ways. This is a symbol of Buddhism called the Dhammachakra. It is like a wheel with 8 spokes that remind us of the Noble Eightfold Path, the 8 ways the Buddha taught us to end suffering. The first way is right understanding. That means understanding the 4 noble truths. That life is full of suffering, unhappiness, and that we should look for good things to do that can make others feel peaceful and happy. When we do good things, then good things will happen to us. That is, good karma that can help end our suffering. It makes us happy too. How are these children helping someone feel more peaceful and happy? Point to your eye, looking for good things to do to help end suffering. This is how we can remember right understanding. That is the first part of the Eightfold Path, right understanding, or samaditi in the Pali language. The second way is right thought, remembering to have kind and loving thoughts wherever we are, whatever we do. Wishing that all people be happy and peaceful. Wishing that all animals be happy and peaceful. and never wishing harm to anyone, even if someone annoys us, being patient, tolerant, and forgiving. When someone upsets us, we can remember that if you do bad things, then bad things happen to you. It helps our anger go away. Put your hand on your heart. This is how we can remember right thought, having kind and loving thoughts. That is the second part of the Eightfold Path, right thought, or Samma Sankappa in the Pali language. The third way is right speech. That means we try not to speak with anger, we don't tell lies, and we don't say things that hurt others. Point to your mouth. This is how we can remember right speech. That is the third part of the Eightfold Path, right speech, or Sammavacha in the Pali language. The fourth way is right action. That means good actions like volunteering to help. There are many ways to help. Right action also means not doing things that harm others, not hurting someone who got something you didn't get, and not taking things that do not belong to you. Look at your hands that do only good things. That helps us to remember right action. That is the fourth part of the Eightfold Path, right action, or Samma Kammanta in the Pali language. The fifth way is right livelihood, which means having a job that does not harm others. We should not be dishonest or cheat in our work. We should do our work well and not be lazy or distracted by other things. School is your work while you're young. It prepares you for a job when you're older. So pay attention in class, do your work carefully, and don't cheat or misbehave. Put your hand down as if holding your lunch bag or a briefcase. This helps us remember right livelihood. That is the fifth part of the Eightfold Path, right livelihood, or Samma Ajiva in the Pali language. The sixth way is right effort. That means making efforts to stay away from people who misbehave. Avoid things that are bad for you, and avoid or stop bad habits. It also means making efforts to find friends who are well behaved, to find things to do that are good for you, and to develop good habits. Make one hand push away bad things, and put the other hand on your brow looking for good things. This helps us remember right effort, and that is the sixth part of the Eightfold Path, right effort, or Samma Vayama in the Pali language. The seventh way is right mindfulness. That means being very aware, noticing every little thing, each little thing you see, each thing you hear, each thing you feel, and each thing you smell. Let's try it. Close your eyes. Notice how your big toe feels right now. Does it feel warm or cold? Do you feel the floor? Do you feel your sock or your shoe? Now, keeping your eyes closed, keeping very still, notice the top of your head. Without touching your head, what does the top of your head feel like? Now, notice your right hand. Keeping it still and keeping your eyes closed. Notice the palm of your hand. Now notice the back of your hand, your fingers, your thumb. And now open your eyes and point to your head. This helps us remember right mindfulness, and that is the seventh part of the Eightfold Path, right mindfulness, or Sammasati in the Pali language. The eighth way is right concentration. This means keeping your mind focused on only one thing for a while. Let's try. Notice how it feels to breathe in. Notice how it feels to breathe out. Count how many breaths you can take while you concentrate only on breathing in and breathing out. It's not easy. Our mind wants to think about many other things. But if you learn to concentrate well, you'll be a very good student. And you'll be able to learn anything you want to learn very easily. You will be very intelligent and able to do many things very well. With the palms of your hands up, lay one hand on the palm of your other hand. This helps us to remember right concentration. And that is the last part of the Noble Eightfold Path, right concentration, or Samma Samadhi in the Pali language. Now, can you show how to remember the Noble Eightfold Path? Right understanding, point to your eye. Right thought, put your hand on your heart. Right speech, point to your mouth. Right action, look at your hands. Right livelihood, hold your hand down pretending to hold a briefcase or lunch bag. Right effort, put one hand on your brow and keep bad things away with the other hand. Right mindfulness, point to your head. And right concentration, lay one hand on the palm of your other hand. Why is it important to understand the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path? Because each good action we do will make something good happen to us in the future, and each bad action we do will make something bad happen to us in the future. It might happen soon, or when we get much older, or in a future life. We must understand that bad things will sometimes happen to all of us because of the bad things we've all done in past lives. So we should do many, many good actions so that many, many good things will happen to us in our future.